out there. This is another episode of the Modern Farming Podcast, where we bring together agriculture, education, and innovation, and in a form of outreach. I'd like to thank our hosts, the Green Gene Foundation, for enabling us to do this podcast and get the word out of all of these interesting agriculture people and what they're doing out there in the world today. We got a good one today. Brad, my co-host, Brad Turner's here. I'm excited to talk to this young lady about her experiences in agriculture. How you doing, Brad?
Doing great. Yep. And this is going to be a good one. We got another ag teacher, and those are my favorites. Those are as the backbone of what our future in ag is going to be. And so these are always fun, and this one will be no different.
Right. Got to have them, right? Got to have the teaching and the experiences to keep the agriculture industry going. So with that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Emily Ralston. She's an agriculture teacher and an FFA advisor at the Lincoln Memorial School, and that's in Manatee County. Welcome, Emily. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself? And what
Thank you so much. Yeah. Like you said, my name's Emily Ralston. I am a middle school agriculture teacher in Manatee County. I am really blessed to be going into my third year as an agriculture teacher and FFA advisor. It's been truly such a blessing. I got into agriculture a little bit later in life. I didn't come from a big family background in agriculture, so it's been great being able to give back in the way that ag was introduced to me in my life, and I'm just really excited to be here and talk to you guys today.
Cool. Can you take us back to that time? When did it really click for you that you were super interested in agriculture, wanted to pursue it as a career?
Yeah. So for me, it all starts back when I was in high school. I had no idea what FFA was, but I was interested in equine. I rode horses, and one of my friends was like, "Let's join the horse judging team." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool, whatever, I'll do it." And I competed, and we did amazing. I won second at our prelims out of 400 students. I'm a very competitive person, so I was like, "Yeah, what is this club? Like, I want to be more involved." And from there, I was able to learn about what agriculture truly was, the deep, rich history it has here in our county. So I got involved. I jumped headfirst. I went into being an officer, to showing livestock, to competing in every event that I possibly could, became a district officer, and I knew from, I would say, within a month of being in the organization, that this is something, an industry I could see myself being in for the rest of my life. I didn't know how or what that would look like, but it's been a true blessing to be able to do that for my students and be that for them and introduce them to something that they have had no idea that this would even be a career possibility, and get to translate that into changing like the future of their lives. I had a student, sorry, I'm just rambling right now, but
Okay. That's good.
She came up to me, and this was right after her 8th grade year, and she said, "Miss Ralston, I want to be an agriculture teacher." And she's going into her sophomore year. We still keep in touch, and I help her with all of her projects, and she still holds true to that. So there's nothing like that feeling of knowing that you've made a significant impact on someone's life.
No, that's great. I mean, you're a model for that, because that's, you started late in life, so you don't have to be a fourth generation anything farmer to be an ag teacher.
Right.
You've got the passion, and you've learned it late in life. It is great.
And I think that's going back to that question. I knew that it clicked for me when it was something that wasn't just a hobby. It wasn't like I'm not just in FFA. I feel like I am FFA. I'm something that is so much bigger than myself. And this industry it's amazing. It's one of a kind. It is truly the foundation to our world. And I think it's amazing, even just a small little part that I play in it. I'm just grateful every day.
Well said.
Sounds like it really played a role in shaping your path and your future.
Oh, 1,000%. Without FFA, I truly don't know if I would have found what I was meant to do. And they say that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I when I was younger, I was like, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's something that I truly would want to do every day that just doesn't get boring after a while. But I definitely, I found it. I found where I'm meant to be, and I found what inspires me every day. And I love it because it's something different every day. And it's always different students, it's different interests, it's different lessons and adventures. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Did you go to an agricultural college? I mean, where did you choose to go to school?
I did. So I attended Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College in Tifton, Georgia. I started there as an agriculture education major, and I quickly changed that. Actually, it's funny how it started. I was like, I don't think I'm meant to be an agriculture teacher. I'm gonna step away from that thought, and I'm going to go more into livestock and business. So that's what I changed my major to, is an agricultural business major. And I'm really grateful that I did that because I got to learn so much about marketing and finance and how to properly run an operation. I learned about horticulture and so many different aspects within the industry. I definitely want to go back now to get my master's in agricultural education. Attending ABAC was such an amazing opportunity because it was such a hands-on learning experience. And as someone who has never had a family-owned operation or been able to work on any kind of farming or ranching operation, it was great to get to learn how to drive a tractor and how to weld. We got to learn how to wire. There were so many different aspects that I was like, okay, I truly felt like I was learning. A lot of people say when they go to school and when they're in college, they learn, but you learn more once you're in the industry or once you're in whatever industry you go into. But
Right.
it was just, I loved it there. I can never be grateful enough to have attended ABAC.
Yeah,
So
for
did
those
that,
who don't know, that's in southern Georgia, Tifton, and it's all walks of life from all kinds of ag. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of people from Florida go up there and get their AAs or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
very diverse, right?
It definitely is. It definitely is. And they're adding so many different pathways, and even students who go up there and get their nursing degree who have a passion for agriculture, might not be their career path, but they're still able to cultivate that and to continue that passion, maybe not working in the industry, but still being such an advocate. So I think it's definitely such a unique place.
Very cool.
so what did you take with you from that college that you use now as an educator and a mentor and a
I would say that you're never going to stop learning. I was very involved in school. I was in so many different clubs and organizations, and I worked on campus, and it truly felt like I'm always meeting someone new. I'm always getting a new life lesson. And I think that's so important because we never know it all. You know, I've talked to so many farmers that they're like, even I'm 75 and I'm still learning every single day. So I think that was something that was instilled in me there that I really take with me now, because I love having conversations with anyone and everyone. I'm such a big talker because everyone's had a different experience in life. Everyone looks at things differently and has a different method of doing everything. So I think that that's been a big lesson that I try to instill in my students too. Even if you know how to do something, don't be afraid to listen to someone else's ideas or opinion, because we never stop learning.
No, 100%. You know, even when I meet with clients as a consultant, like yesterday, I spent 4 hours with a lady. And I learned a whole bunch of things that I didn't know, and she was calling me for advice. So it's just, you're going to learn something new every day talking to different people for sure.
And I love that. I truly, almost when I first started teaching or right out of college, it was a little bit, I was like, I don't want to call that person and ask for advice because I don't want to seem like I don't know what I'm doing, but truly we can't know it all. And so I love having this big ag community around me, especially in Manatee County, that if I have a question about my cattle or about the goats or about what fertilizer recommendations, I have so many resources of people who just want to see me and my program succeed. And I think that it's truly agriculture, like the agriculture community is truly so unique in that everyone's just so friendly and helpful, and we just want to see each other succeed and grow, really grow the industry.
Right.
And you're local, right? You're in Parish, or the school's in Parish? Or
The school's in Palmetto, and
Palmetto.
I live, in North Palmetto.
Palmetto, okay. You're right down the street. I'm in Ruskin.
Okay, yeah. I live off exit 229, so it's literally right before we hit Ruskin.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you started out in ag education, then you decided to go to ag business, but then you found your way back to education.
Yeah.
How did that happen? That's kind of an interesting path.
It is. I told myself, I was like, I just don't think I'm meant to be an agriculture teacher. And I said, even if I do, because I got a lot of advice from mentors, they're like, even if you get your degree in agricultural business, that doesn't mean the door is shut on ag ed. And I said, yeah, you're right. If I do, if that's what God's will, it'll happen. I said, but I'll never teach middle school. Here we are, going to my third year of teaching middle school. So I have my best friend, she actually taught here, and she was not a big livestock person. So she's like, can you come help coach my livestock jetting team? Can you help with my dairy cattle? And I was like, yeah, like, of course. So I came and I coached and I did all these things. And it was so amazing. It was so amazing watching this passion grow for these students, watching it almost like click for them. When after a couple practices, when they're like, Miss, I have no idea what you're saying right now. And then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get what you mean when you say I need to do this in showmanship. Or I understand what you mean when you say I'm looking for this confirmation of swine. And I fell in love with that. I fell in love with helping cultivate their passion for the industry. And even if they didn't, go into agriculture later on in life, they're still going to have that knowledge and appreciation for the industry that feeds them. So it's just something I didn't stop doing. Next year, she moved on to high school, and there was another teacher that came here, and I still continued to volunteer. I pretty much was like, okay, let's get beef cattle, let's grow, and let's have this new pasture built and all these things. And it was really great to just help continue the program grow and coach. And then that gentleman retired. So it kind of paved the way for me to come in, because halfway through that year, the principal approached me and he said, okay, I want you to teach math for half a year, and then I will put you in agriculture. And I said, well, I love math, so let's do it. And it was really great to, make that transition and finally get to teach here. I got offered a couple other jobs, but to teach agriculture, but there's something about this place that I know that this is where I'm meant to be, because it's a Title I school. It's in a very suburban place. It's where I grew up, in the suburbs. So none of these kids, none of them come from agricultural backgrounds. So it's really great watching them, learn about all these different things, hold a chicken for the first time. I'm teaching them how to milk goats and clip hooves and all these different things that I'm sure, like, a year before they took ag, they're like, I have no idea. I would never even think I would touch a goat or walk a cow, let alone all of the many other things that we do.
So is your school on the outskirts of town, or is it, I mean, Palmetto has grown tremendously. I mean, it was an all ag area when I was a teenager, and it's really grown like everything else. But where are you? Where is the school?
Right in the middle of the city. So we're right past, if you know where the Manatee Convention Center is, where you just keep going a little bit into town. We're on that left side, right off 301.
Oh yeah, you're right in the middle of it.
Yep.
So you have, but you have animals there. I mean,
we do. Actually, we're getting our cow pasture rebuilt today. We have about 10 beef cows, anywhere from 1 to 5 hogs, just depending on when it's time. We'll get our hogs in September. We have about 12 goats, a handful of chickens. I've got 2 rabbits in my classroom. And then we're really blessed because Dakin Dairy out in Mayaca City leases heifers to all of the schools every year. So we'll have anywhere from like 6 to 8 come October through January out there as well. So definitely a big plateful.
Those are all show animals. I mean, those are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you got to take advantage of the space you got and do all you can with it, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, I definitely have things are squished, and I definitely spend way too much on hay because we don't have enough grass for all our cows.
Right.
But we make it work. Anything for these kids. I am a big beef person, so when my best friend was here her first year, they had 2 dairy cows. That's all they had. I said, okay, can I buy some beef cows? And it's she's like, I don't know. We don't have a trailer. So I went and I traded in my Jeep Patriot for a truck. I went and bought a livestock trailer. And then I convinced her to let me buy 2 beef cows. And since then, I've just tried to continue to grow it. And now we have almost 10. It's been really great. I mean, we've AI'd cows and, put them out with bulls, and literally had students catch a calf as it was coming out of mom. And it's just like these kids didn't never even seen a cow a year from then, and now they're watching a calf be born. Like it was just it's truly amazing. I love it so much.
Well, that's dedication.
It is. Ag teachers, people don't realize. You're like, oh, you're a teacher, that's cool. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's great, it's amazing, I love teaching, but it's more than you think. I mean, these animals don't feed themselves. We might be teachers, but we don't get the summers off, and we don't get Christmas break off. There's always something to do.
Can you tell us a little bit about your program? I mean, you touched on it with the hands-on things that your students do, but what does your ag program look like at your school?
Yeah, so that's my wheelhouse, is definitely animals. So that's what I'm big into. We also do earth boxes, so we're growing a variety of vegetables, and my kids love growing flowers outside. And then I'm actually really excited to be working with Mr. Matt Palmer. He is working on getting us an aquaculture system. Before a couple teachers before me is a teacher who was here for 16 years, and she had aquaculture tanks. So it's something I'm really excited about. It's something my principal is really excited about. So I love hands-on learning. Well, I think in the classroom, super important. You build that foundation, but and being able to say, okay, guys, like these are the different breeds of beef cattle, and then we're going outside, and it's like I'm getting to show them like the differences in person, or talking about I can't even think of like different fertilizers, or like a root system, soil textures, like all these things we're getting to do hands-on lab activities. So they're not just learning about it, they're seeing it. I'm such a visual learner, so I love being able to do like hands-on activities for the students to truly see what I mean when I'm telling them about these things.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you the
great.
only ag teacher at the school, or there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm the only one.
Yeah. So you have your hands full, and so you're teaching everything. There's no specialized. I mean, you just got to know it all, from
Yeah.
the livestock
So
to the vegetable to everything.
yes, middle school is just everything. It's everything. Um, I love aquaculture. We do the aquaculture CDE and FFA, so that's not a part of my standards, but I still added in as like a small lesson towards the end of the year because I think it's really important with us living in Florida. But yes, I cover it all, and it's been really fun. This past year, I did certifications for the first time, so I was able to certify students, and they got their agricultural system certification, which I think was really neat because it truly was like I was like, okay, like I'm teaching them all these things, but they're actually learning it. They're understanding the different breeds and the different types of dairy parlors. They're understanding grades of milk and poultry and all these things, and it was really really something that I was very grateful to do.
Sounds like you're having success with middle school, which is a very difficult class stage to teach. And I think probably those students, after sitting through history classes and math classes and English classes, are probably pretty excited to get to your class and learn a little, and then go do a lot. That must make a big difference to a lot of them.
It is, and it's crazy to me because we live in Florida and it's hot. So I was expecting kids to be like, I don't want to go outside. It's too hot. No, no, man, that's not for me. But kids are like, yes. They're like, Miss, I need to go outside. They love the fresh air. They love working hands on. And I think that's like, I think agriculture class is so vital for some of those students because kids, I mean, kids aren't wired to sit at a desk and just learn for 8 hours straight. They need to be outside. They need that hands-on learning experience. I think it truly is vital for their mental health and just growing their education. I mean, I was not one to just sit at a desk and comprehend things. I would space out in class and I was like, I'll teach myself it later. And that's what I did. But I think that's why agriculture clicks so much for me too, is because I'm such a hands-on learner, and I can really gear my lessons to so many different learning types, and I enjoy that.
And I'm sure a lot of those kids, when they go home, they're inside. So I mean, that's their one opportunity. Some kids in apartments, and
Yep.
I took it for granted. I grew up on a farm, so but yeah, I can imagine. Oh, and when you talked about like the calf being born, I mean, for a kid that's not in ag to witness that or even help,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, I mean, you'll change. That'll change people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we always joke, people in the city think that that carrots come from the store and chicken comes from the store. And you joke about that, but maybe they realize that it's not coming from the store, but they have no idea the process and
Yeah,
the work behind it. And no one would until you show them, right?
yeah, yeah. The
Well, and
hamburger you have at McDonald's, this is where it started, from this birth right here.
right. And I love that aspect of it too, because kids, they're truly learning. They're truly learning what our farmers and ranchers do to put the food on their tables. It's not an easy process, and it's not an easy way of life. It's something that takes sacrifice and so much hard work and dedication. So I love being able to show them how important being an advocate for agriculture is. Even when they grow up, I don't care if you're a nurse or a firefighter or a business owner, it's still so important that you have an appreciation and an understanding and being an advocate for the industry. And I think that being a part of agriculture class and FFA, like I said, even if you don't go into the industry, it's still instilling those values into the kids, and those are values and
Mm-hmm.
life lessons that they will have the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you switching your major, the business and marketing. I mean, that's huge in farming. The farming part's actually pretty easy. It's, farming is such a struggle financially. You need these kids to, if even if they're not the farmers, if they're helping the farmers with that side of it, that's as big as anything.
Right. There was a lesson one of my professors taught one day, and it was in a finance class. We were talking about overhead and just operation costs, and they were saying how if you take like a fifth generation farmer and have a conversation with them, if you looking at projected numbers for the year, and say you take a peanut farmer and prices are low, and after you calculate overhead and price of the product and all of these things to put that peanut in the ground, they're going to end up losing money by the time they harvest for what they sell it for. Sorry, my story's not making sense right now, but anyways, long story short, even if they were to lose money, they're still going to do it because that's the only thing that they don't, and they know that it's still important. Like, we still have to eat, we still need those products, but it just shows how selfless farmers are, and farm workers. It's not just the farm owners, it's anyone who has a hand in the industry, because there's these packing plants, there is so many different layers to it. But sorry, I just rambled for a minute and probably didn't make any sense.
Great.
No, it was fine. That absolutely made sense, right? What else are you going to do if that's your job, is to farm peanuts and peanuts are down?
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
They know it doesn't look good on paper, but they do it anyway. And
That's right.
pray something good's going to happen.
Yes.
Can we shift gears and ask you about what your FFA chapter's up to? What's exciting? What do you want to talk about there that you guys are working on?
I don't really know how much I have to say that I haven't already talked about. I would say the biggest exciting thing is just certifications and then the aquaculture tanks at the moment.
Okay.
I know we've
I'm
already
sure the kids love the aquaculture.
Yes. I think it's so cool because it's so unique, when people don't think about aquaculture when they think about farming. And I do at the beginning of school, whether like a truth or a lie kind of thing. So I will say a statement, or like a fact or a myth. I'll say a statement about agriculture, and they will move to one side of the room if they think it's a fact. They'll move to the other side of the room if they think it's a myth. And every year I say aquaculture is an aspect or a part of agriculture. Everyone thinks it's a myth or thinks they don't relate. And it's like, yeah, no, the seafood industry is a big industry.
Sure it is. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How about the different public boards you serve on? I have a note here says you're on the Farm Bureau and you're in some women's committees.
Yes.
Young farmers and ranchers.
Yes.
Young farmer and rancher. Tell us about those and what do you do for those?
Yeah. So I was really excited. About 4 years ago, we didn't have a Young Farmers and Ranchers in Manatee County. We used to, but I met with some people and talked to our Farm Bureau field rep that they were wanting to reestablish. So I took on that task of reestablishing our Young Farmers and Ranchers in Manatee County. And it's been great. I mean, we've created a committee, and we've held socials, farm tours, gone to conference. Almost every year we've gotten an activity award, and we've started a scholarship for local 4-H and FFA seniors. So it's been really great getting the opportunity to not only do that for myself, but for other young agriculturalists in Manatee County, because we're also working on a mentorship program. So each of us on the committee have a mentor within the industry. And our goal is to eventually find mentors for students, whether they've just recently graduated high school or they are getting out of college or they're wanting to find a way into the industry. Say I have a 19-year-old who really loves potatoes. We have a man who sits on our board of directors who is a potato farmer. So being able to link those two people together to maybe he could intern with him, or if he has any job openings. So paving a way for those people who might, like we talked about, might not be, third, fourth, fifth generation farmers to still intertwine within the industry and giving them those opportunities. And then for the women's committee, I I joined that about the same time as starting Young Farmers and Ranchers, and that's been truly such a blessing. I'm sure you guys know, the agriculture industry is a very historically male-dominated field, so it's been really great to get those conversations with other women who have such a passion for agriculture, and being able to help in our community do things. With our local ag museum, we've fundraised for them. Again, we have our own scholarship. We donate and fundraise for our local county fair for our youth ag exhibit. So it's both of those have given me a really deep appreciation for leadership and Farm Bureau, and we have an amazing board of directors who truly just want to see us succeed as young people. And I blanked, but yeah.
We need
busy lady.
We really need more of that, though. Mentorship is so huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've been lucky. I'm sure, Brad, you've been mentored.
Oh yeah.
My wife has made a lot of connections in the agriculture field. She has. You can't get there without it, right? If everybody turned your back on you, you would either give up or fail real quick. Right. So that's huge that you're, it's really nice you're formally doing that in your area, to help people along.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed having mentors. And I actually have two, because I couldn't decide between two people, and one of them, he is a owner operator, business owner, and then the other one actually was just elected mayor of Palmetto. So I get to see so many different sides of things. He used to be the head of our county fair, and then he was the head of if it was all county fairs in the state of Florida, or it was state fair, something like that. And now he's the mayor of Palmetto. So it's just really cool to have. They're both Manatee County natives, so learning from them and learning what agriculture was, when they were growing up versus what it is now here, and how we can continue to preserve agriculture in Manatee County, because it's becoming so developed. And just getting their different perspectives on life and how to be a leader and how to grow not only as an individual but as a young agriculturalist.
Yeah, and it's growing east in a hurry. I mean, you think you can outrun it into the center of the state, but it is moving very quickly, development.
It really is. And it's sad to think about. I worked with the local high school, and we planned a field trip for our students, and we went to a bunch of different places within Palmetto. We went to the Ag Museum, Everglades, where did we go? Oh, we went to Culver's for lunch. We went to other places I can't think of at the moment. I'm on summer brain. But we had a Manatee County native, Mr. Keene. He's a great person. And he was telling us about how, when, I don't remember what year, but back in the 50s or 60s, there used to be over 30 packing houses just in Palmetto.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only advocating for the agriculture industry, but being to students, but being a voice to our community. And, because we're not just teaching, I'm not just teaching my kids, because they're going to get excited and they're going to get passionate about it, and they're going to tell their friends and they're going to tell their parents, or, their aunt and uncle, or people they go to church with, and it's going to spread. And that's why I think it's so important that even if the kids, even if I ask a student, hey, how do you feel about plants and animals? How do you feel about getting your hands dirty? Even if it's not their thing, still finding a way to connect them and spark their interest. So we're continuing to grow and, help support our community and help our community support the agriculture industry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just connecting them to their food.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal. That can change lives.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you see in the future? You've got this agriculture curriculum going at your school. What do you see in the future down the road? What do you think you're going to do? Improve it, grow it? What makes you excited about thinking about tomorrow?
Yeah. So I am very hard on myself. Sometimes I forget to think about what I do, and I always focus on what I don't do. So I think every year is an opportunity to grow and to better my program. That's why this year I'm really excited about getting our aquaculture tanks. I'm excited because I'm hoping that we can have a plant sale. I have a lot of different things in the works on how to build my program, and this year my goal is to do a lot of community outreach with our local high school, and really mending that connection, so that way I know that I'm establishing this passion in these roots in kids, and that's going to continue to grow and cultivate throughout their entire high school career too. So I'm really blessed to be able to do that with our high school teacher. And my goal is one day when she retires to be able to take over her position. So not only am I growing, but I'm growing, I'm growing with these kids. And I truly love Palmetto and this community. And it's something I didn't live in Palmetto growing up. I lived in Bradenton, which, is just a town over.
Mm-hmm.
But it has such a deep agriculture history that I truly think needs to be preserved. And, why not me be a person to help do that? So that's my goal. And I'm just excited. A couple years ago, I never thought I would teach agriculture. So I'm just taking every year and doing as much as I can to grow my program, grow as an individual, and to instill this passion in these kids. And I know that, where will I be in 5 years? I don't know, but I pray that I'm still doing this and still loving it every day.
So I just want to back up. So your middle school,
Mhm.
did you say that you feed a high school agriculture education type program? Is that?
Yep.
Okay, that's important. So that's great, because you can catch a lot of people's interests the earlier you get them into it, and the more time they have to spend discovering things in an earlier age gets them focused towards
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. And it's not my feeder middle school. It's more out east, but they do have an agriculture program at Manatee City Elementary School, which I think is really neat, and it's something that I really hope grows within our state. So more elementary schools, we start that learning and we start that appreciation even younger.
Yeah.
I think that could do wonders.
And to touch on that, the Green Gene Foundation, you mentioned Matt Palmer and his wife Tara earlier, they're doing that. So they're putting in school garden beds at middle and elementary schools, and they're putting in small aquaponic systems, just a 20-gallon fish tank with some plants growing on the top. So Green Gene Foundation is right in line with your thinking, and that's the way to turn this around, right? Everything's shrinking in the agriculture world. You got to You got to go back to the roots and start building it up from the bottom again.
Exactly. I think that's amazing.
Cool.
Well, you're planting some good seeds. I can tell. You're going to grow more of people like yourself. I'm sure it's already happening.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot.
Sounds really good. I want to ask you one question. It's kind of an interesting one, a personal one. If you could spend a day with someone in the agriculture industry, a leader, an innovator, or whatever, past or present, is there someone you'd have in mind that you'd like to talk to? If you could do that.
Yeah, I definitely think the answer for me is pretty easy. It would be Temple Grandin. My aunt has autism, so it's something that when I was first introduced to who this person was in high school, I was immediately drawn to that because I've loved volunteering with different programs. So I just think it's so special how she has taken something that most would view as a disadvantage and turned it in to such a positive way for her to be a leader and an advocate for our industry. She truly is unique and she's such a voice. She's such a voice and an advocate for livestock. I wrote down this quote because I thought it was really neat. She once said, "The world needs different kinds of minds to work together." And I really got to thinking about that. And it's true. We can't have all these people who think one way because how are we going to grow? How are we going to grow and evolve as an industry if we all think the same way? So I just think she's truly inspirational for people who, don't necessarily come from an agriculture background or might have things that they view as a disadvantage in life. And she's overcome so much and still, is such a leader and an advocate for the industry. I think is really, really a beautiful thing.
I'm kind of at the end of my questions. Brad, do you have anything else you'd like to bring up or go back to?
No, I said, but it was just, I'm glad we had this one last. We had kind of a marathon today, and you put a smile on my face for the rest of the day. So we're excited to have you on, and it was a great interview.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks to Emily and to Brad for another excellent podcast. Thanks for the folks out there who are watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.